Oh, that's a lot of people that just loaded in. Yeah. Yeah, so I have no idea where to start. I've been away for a bit, and I didn't want to sit here and just stare at the wall and talk for like an hour or two, however long this is gonna be. I'm just gonna go over where I've been, I guess. And I figured I'd just do something in Guild Wars 2 since I'm just kind of addicted right now. I got back into it like a week ago or so. And obviously, having recording issues, nothing new. I'm already annoyed starting this, to be honest. Let's just continue. So, if you want... I'll try to not get distracted, but if you want a very quick rundown, I'll give you that right now so you can just go if you want to go. Okay, so, the last time I uploaded I think was like the first week of February with Assassin's Creed. I had a trip around then to some HVAC convention in Georgia. That's what happened there. I got a little busy with that. After that, got sick with COVID, not from Georgia surprisingly. I got sick with, me and my parents got sick with COVID locally. That's great. That was also, again, like after February. Found out I have high blood pressure, which explains a lot. Again, I'll get into these things later on, just trying to give a quick rundown. Yeah, I've never gone to the doctor, but I don't really go. Not a good thing. But for the most part, it's just been work, really, that's taking up a lot of my time. And for a bit, after February or something, maybe in March, I just kind of really didn't feel like playing anything, so... That's partly also it. I didn't have energy to record or play anything. And what I was doing was kind of got fed up, I guess. Just outright say it. Got fed up with being fat, because I, again, stopped bike riding in like 2016 because of an injury, and gained weight. It took up all the way until like 2021 or something to get like over my high school weight, which it was nice that it took forever to gain all that weight back, but yeah, I'm ready to lose it already. So I've just been taking this year to essentially work on myself. Still very sluggish at the moment, but I haven't really moved into high gear, I guess. Which I'm gonna have to. I've only lost like 15 pounds in 2 months, so I think I started at the end of April or something. It's been slow because work gets in the way. But anyway, finally have time, except probably don't this week, so we'll see. If I get to record anything or edit anything. I want to say it's pretty much the bullet points. Georgia trip. Got COVID, not from the Georgia trip, found out I have high blood pressure, a bunch of work pretty much kept me from doing much really, and I decided to put the channel in the back seat for a bit because I want to just focus on losing weight. Yeah, everything will be divided by chapters, so if you're curious about one thing, you can just go straight to it, or timestamps, whatever they're called. Again, I'll try not to get distracted while doing this shit. And also the volume's real low, so I can't even hear shit. I don't feel like putting in earphones. There's... the only thing I did do, which was recently, I did finish Horizon Forbidden West, and that'll be at some point later on. So, I just want to talk about that. Also, if you don't understand anything that's going on... okay, that's fine. You just put this in the background. This is just, you know, I didn't want to be, talking to a wall for an hour or so. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So, I need to find a place to start. The Georgia trip, I'm not going to start that because that's probably going to be its own video. Well, more so like, all I'll say is that uploading is going to be very sparse, so don't really expect me to come back for most of this year, I guess. I'll try and edit and upload what I can, but like I said, work has been piling up for the last couple months because of a bad heat wave, and a lot of shit just kind of like, how do I say it? A lot of shit just overworked itself, I guess, a lot of components, so we just had to do a lot of, part repairs, essentially. So it's just been, like, clockwork. A nice 120 degrees for 2 weeks, so that was cool. That's great. I lost my train of thought, to be honest. I guess, yeah, okay. The trip is gonna be its own little video or whatever, paired with probably the other trip, which was the Las Vegas HVAC trip. The Las Vegas trip was much more enjoyable than the Georgia trip. I'll tell you that right now, although that probably won't be a surprise to any of you. Yeah, I intended for that to be in here with this update video, but as I just never had time to make this video, I kept adding things that I wanted to talk about, so... Yeah, I'm gonna have to do one more video of, talking about both trips, because I know this one's probably gonna be a little bit long, especially if I'm getting distracted playing. At the least, this doesn't have to be coherent, because I can just speak whenever and just, you know, cut it up. I'm trying my best not to react to what's going on screen while playing. Just, all you need to know about Guild Wars 2 if you've never played it, MMO, we're doing essentially world boss trains. Or at least, I'm not following anyone doing a train, it's just, I'm doing a string of world events, essentially, to just get random loot. There's some big ticket items, but like, I've never gotten one, so it's still some decent resources, I guess. Also, I don't know what I'm doing with my engineer, so don't question it. I made another engineer anyway, it doesn't really matter. I have another engineer geared. You're wondering what the fuck I'm doing with this engineer? I don't know either. Just some random ass build I got. I think it's support in some way. Okay, I guess where we start is when I got COVID. Yeah, the Georgia trip was fun and all that, and you'll have to sadly watch another video for me to explain it. But when I got back, I was fine for like a week or two, and then my parents went to like 2 or 3 different things, and I'm usually around my parents' house because I take care of the dogs. They're all my dogs, so yeah, I take care of them. Not that they don't, it's just I take care of them when they're not home, essentially. Like, go feed them, give them water and all that. And yeah, I'm around my parents a lot. They somehow got COVID from, like, I don't know, I think it was like a dance or something. Again, funny that it was local and not at Georgia. They were sick for like 2 days at most. My mom was maybe... I think she just had a cough. For the most part, just a little cough. And my dad, the next day or whatever, after my mom got over it, he got a sore throat and a bad cough and couldn't really speak without coughing. And that was only about 2 days. I was doing fine. I was limiting my contact while still helping them. It was 2 or 3 days after everyone got over being sick. My parents mainly. I was doing fine. I didn't get sick that whole time. And we just didn't think it was COVID at the time. So what happened is that, yeah, it was like 3 or 4 days later, and my mom was making mashed potatoes or something, and she was taste testing it. And then I didn't think much of it, and I just went to go try it as well. And after avoiding it all this time, my mom barely told me after I tasted it that she was still, like, had a sore throat or something. Like, god damn it. I did so fucking well to avoid interacting with them that much while still helping them out. And then this is how it happens. After they're already almost done being sick, or practically or barely sick, and I got sick at the tail end of it. That's great. Except I didn't get sick for only 2 days like they both did. I got sick for 6 full days. I have, I guess, a not so great immune system or something, or a great one and a shitty one. I maybe get sick once or twice a year, but when I get sick, I get horribly fucking sick. So, I don't know if that's a good or a bad immune system, or both. So yeah, it was essentially I couldn't speak much for those 6 days because it just flared up my coughing, I guess. Pretty sure I had a stuffy nose, and whatever else comes with COVID. I was trying to let it pass, and it just wasn't, and I was only able to see the doctor, like, on the 6th day, after, like, trying to let it go away for 3 or 4 days. So we did that, and when I went to the doctor didn't really care that I had COVID. He was more interested that I guess I'm somewhat of an anomaly of a patient, somehow. Because once any doctor I go to hears that I have had pancreatitis when I was, like, 6 or 8 years old, I had a pancreatic attack, and then I had like 3 more different years or whatever later on before they found out it was pancreatitis. Any doctor just kind of like stops what I'm actually there for. They stop asking me things about why I'm showing up today, and instead, they want to know my whole fucking medical history. Like, not even out of like concern or anything, they're just curious. It happens every fucking time. So, yeah. I went there for COVID, left not knowing if I had COVID, instead just left with like, you have high blood pressure, and also that was interesting. Thank you for telling me that. From the doctor, essentially. Him learning about my medical history. I I was confused. But hey, I found out I have high blood pressure because when I went there, it was like 160 over 80 or 100 or some shit. Or like 168 or some shit. So that's nice. So yeah, I got prescribed blood pressure pills and vitamin D pills because apparently I was low on that. Even though I work in the fucking sun, but I guess that's how things work. Yeah, I was expecting the worst with the blood work test, or results. I was expecting to be like horrible on everything and like needing to just change everything about eating habits or whatever else. Nope. At most, my salt could be lowered down and that's kinda it. Okay. I was expecting it to be absolute dog shit. But somehow it wasn't. But the blood pressure pills, yeah, those were nice for like the first 2 weeks. When I took a blood pressure pill, a little while later, I was like, my head feels fucking clear. My head doesn't feel foggy anymore. I can think clearly. This sort of burning sensation that's usually there around my eyes, the back of my head. This constant like strain or like being pulled on sensation that goes from like the back of my neck to my left arm, like my left wrist. That was suddenly gone. Especially like my lower back or something. Just these kind of constant aches that have never gone away, have rarely ever gone away, were just suddenly gone a little bit after taking the blood pressure pill. That's kind of insane to me. After I took that pill, I was like, wait, I've been dealing with all this for years, and it was just high blood pressure? People normally don't feel like this? My body not feeling like it's burning in any way, not feeling like constant stress from like my wrist being pulled on, and that like going all the way up into my shoulder, my neck. That isn't normal. To feel incredibly, I guess, relaxed with a clear mind, that's more or less supposed to be normal. Okay, I didn't fucking know. I just ignored my eyes burning, my back of my head kind of pounding, and the left wrist thing feeling like it's being pulled constantly. Someone like just resting on my shoulder constantly. Yeah, it felt incredible. Again, for like the first 2 weeks. Then my body just kind of got over the blood pressure pills and yeah. My blood pressure is low now, but these issues just kind of came back. So I don't know what to do. My doctor just is more concerned about weight, which I guess sure, fine. Which I'm not horribly overweight, just overweight. Like if I want to go bike ride for an hour, I can still go bike ride for an hour. Although I haven't had fucking time, that's the issue. So I have to dig into calorie counting, which I've been neglecting since the end of April or some shit. That's gonna be the only way I lose weight until I can go bike ride and then the fat will really just melt off. I just cannot get into calorie counting as much as I did back then, but I really fucking need to. So, that's why I'm gonna just try and focus on myself this year. I already started with today. Doing fine calorie counting for today. Which I did do it before I got COVID, by the way, and then, you know, COVID ruined my calorie counting. Although there's no excuse for, after I got better, for me to just stop calorie counting, so that's, you know, obviously on me. But yeah, my doctor did also want to not really overload me, I guess, or give me a high dosage of whatever the fuck blood pressure pills. So, also I'm not really sure if I just want this doctor to be my main doctor, so I don't want to make him decide to do anything drastic, I guess, if I say, hey, I could use more dosage of blood pressure pills. I don't want to say that either. My blood pressure is relatively low. It's just this shit came back, like, again. The feeling of stress, I guess. Never going away, it just came back. So that was like February and April. I guess March. Like, in March or April is when I just started working out a lot. At least 4 to 6 times a week. And I was doing great. And then I just got overloaded with work. Got a little lazy even, I think. So now I'm trying to get back into working out. Because it's... work has just been rough. With that 2-week heat wave in Texas. And there was another heat wave just recently too. 120 degrees. Neat. And it's interesting. I know someone who travels to like Las Vegas, California, and wherever the fuck else. Arizona, I think. And yeah, they'll come back to Texas, or they'll leave Texas and say, oh, it's hot over here, but holy fuck, is Texas still fucking worse. I've heard that quite a bit. The heat in Texas is just something fucking else for some reason. I don't know why. I even heard it at one of those conventions that people were saying, someone said that they worked in attics, and of all the attics they've worked in places that are hot, Texas was the fucking worst. So, that's interesting. The heat in Texas really wants to fucking kill you. Compared to other places, I guess. I mean, maybe the other comparable places would be like South Asia. Anywhere around there. I kind of want to see what Japan feels like. Because the Trash Taste guys on their podcast, they always mention how humid and how hot it gets in Japan, and I want to kind of feel how hot and how humid it is. Humidity sucks no matter what, but I want to feel the heat. Is it better than Texas? Is it worse than Texas? Is it the same? I want to know. But yeah, that's what I did, I think, at some point when I stopped playing games. I didn't have the energy to play games, or the interest for a bit. I think I just watched or binged Trash Taste podcasts and like their specials and all that on their own channels. Like all the Crane games on Connor's channel, CDogVA, or I don't know, he has like 4 channels. They all have like 4 channels, it's confusing. But yeah, that's what I did for like a month or two, just binged all that shit, and there was plenty of fucking videos to back up that whole like month or two, I guess. To completely fill that month or two, I'd say. Yeah, I can tell you, for the rest of this, there's gonna be a little bit more rambling like this. For this next part. Probably still gonna talk about some more, like, personal things. But after that, maybe games. You know, there's a Metalocalypse movie too. Kinda wanna talk about that for a bit. Not too long, though, I don't really think I have much to say. And, you know, maybe a little more work stuff, and then the rant. The Horizon Forbidden West rant. I'm probably gonna have to take a little break at some point, though. And I'll have to figure out what the fuck to do in Guild Wars after this train ends, because I'm gonna eat soon. Oh shit. Yeah, I was being quiet. That's it. Nope, that's it for me, buddy. That's it for me. Don't heal me. Yeah, I was quiet this whole time during that whole fight. And I was trying to focus, and then that little donut spawned on, or I walked into it, I think. I don't think it spawned on me. I think I just slightly walked into it. Well, we're done anyway, they killed it. I have no idea. I couldn't look down, essentially, to see my notes. What to talk about next. That was great. All that effort. Yeah, I got placed 7th, I think. It's alright. I should make a Reaper. I mean, I should work on my Reaper. Seemed to be really good. Still. Like, not much has changed in the last several months, I think. The only major thing I came back to was, like, literally last week or something. They changed the way Alacrity works and something else, which Alacrity just makes your cooldowns faster, like your skills cooldown faster. And they changed something else, I forgot what it was. Was it Swift? No, it was Quickness, which makes you move faster. Well, attack faster, you do actions faster, so... Yeah, those two are the major changes, and that was just last week, and, like, not much in between when I stopped playing for, like, a little bit after the last expansion, which was End of Dragons, 2022 February. I kind of stopped playing around then, shortly after, and I only just came back, like, this month. July. June. June? July. Oh, well, just the last thing about the high blood pressure is... Yeah, that probably explains all the headaches and migraines I usually get. I would eat and get a headache. Like, I would have to take a painkiller after I eat, like shortly after I eat, because I'll start getting a headache. That didn't happen for the first 2 weeks again, with the blood pressure pills, but as my body got used to them, everything just kind of came back. I get headaches after eating now. Even with taking the blood pressure pills. So that's nice. Yeah, for those that don't know, for whatever reason, ANET, the devs, never fixed this part, or never at least made this less shitty, less miserable. No matter what time you finish, the rest of the time from the event will be left with you guys sitting here to then loot the next part. I have no idea why they never just made the timer go down to like 2 minutes or something after every boss is killed. I have no fucking clue. It would be nice if they changed it. After all the bosses are killed, the timer just drops down to a minute or two. To, you know... What's the point of sitting here for 10 minutes? It's kind of shit. It's already over, but that's what I want to say I like about Guild Wars 2, even though there's probably other MMOs that do the same thing. You see these lanes? Ogre Lane, Noak, Radonovus, Scar Lane, and... I don't know if that's a lane. I don't think that's a lane. Yeah, you see these lanes? That's what I kind of like about Guild Wars. A map of what, like 100 to 150 people? Will have to split up and go take care of their own shit to finish the event. That's kind of just what I like. I know it's not like probably the only thing, but whenever I see people play World of Warcraft, it's probably not a good example, obviously, but because they're farming for mounts, that's all I see. Everyone just fights the boss and that's it. There is that here, of course, too. But what I like is a whole map of people organizing to do the event, which takes pretty much everyone in the map to do so. Which again, could be upwards of 150 people. I've always liked that about Guild Wars 2. It isn't just boss farming. And again, it probably is normal in MMOs. I just like it here, though. I know it here. So you'll probably see that in, like, more events if I record more. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do after this. So I don't know where to continue from. Yeah, I think in April or something I got back into RuneScape. That's also what took up my whole month of April, I think. Did not get far. I didn't do Desert Treasure. I didn't do all the, you know, big classic ones. I just did Monkey Madness. Never did Recipe for Disaster. I just farmed for a bit, and that's it. I did some stuff to make money, and I stopped playing. I thought I would play more, but then I just stopped playing. I don't really want to go back. And the reason I got back into RuneScape was because I came across Jimmy's videos, which I don't know how I came across it, because I wasn't looking up anything RuneScape related at the time. But Jimmy's series of by release, which he plays every quest in release order, the way they came out, the year they came out, and I was getting so much enjoyment out of that. I would recommend it to you too if you have a soft spot for RuneScape, or maybe you just want to watch someone play RuneScape. I don't know, you never watched it before or played it. I'd recommend Jimmy's by release videos, or series. I'm honestly kind of itching to rewatch it already. Also, some good music comes out of that too. It's all fucking good. I never thought I'd really like songs about RuneScape, but here we are. His songs are pretty fucking good, and they're about RuneScape. So yeah, definitely go watch that. If you're bored, you need something to watch. Yeah, there's not much to talk about in RuneScape. I did that for like the month of April, and that was it. There's nothing really more to talk about there. I enjoyed my time with it, but I think I just enjoy watching all those videos that like Frame, Jimmy, and like 3 others I'm forgetting the name of do. Idle. 9 Rain. So, I think I just enjoy watching the videos more now than actually playing RuneScape currently. So that was that. So this is recent. I'm slightly jumping around, but like there's not much left to go in order anyway. So I had like the most rough week like 3 weeks ago, I think. It's not affecting me anymore. This was when work was piling up, and then we didn't get a break in between these things. Other than, you know, we don't really work after 5. Thank God. And neither on the weekends unless it's an emergency, but we charge double time. Again, thank God. Everyone goes, oh, it can wait till the week, till the weekday. Again, good. So here's a huge mistake that happened during work, which wasn't the worst thing, but it was a waste of fucking time. One of the places, like a restaurant chain, has for years now opted to just order what they need, and then we do it. We identify what it is. We tell them what the part is, they'll order it. Yeah, that's more or less been fine-ish. And, there's a portal. I thought there was a portal. Anyway. Yeah, that's more or less been fine-ish, again. Nope, knew it. I saw the portal. I fucking knew it. I love portals. I think at this point, ANET should just make it, like, have an exception of random portals. Well, not an exception, but, like, an option. To be like, do you want to take this random person's portal? Again, as an option. If you want to just take portals willy-fucking-nilly, go ahead. But at least have an option for portals not in your party, or your squad, I guess. To have an option like, this is a portal, do you want to use it? because, like, that was the most harmless portal, but people have done far worse. They make the portal, like, around enemies, or put it so far fucking back. It can get really shitty sometimes. Which is why, to me, that'll be a great little quality of life thing. Just make an option to have portals not in your party have a yes or no option on it, whether you want to travel, use it or not. That's it. That would be a very simple fix, I think. So, for me, someone who doesn't really take portals, I rarely ever use them, even in a party. It wouldn't really harm me in any way, I guess. Also, let me see. Here's a random thing I learned, also recently. There's a queue now. Also, it's fucking 24 queue. I don't think I want to be in that. Maybe it's time to find another party. Yeah, you can queue up, which is fucking new to me. That is insane. You would have to just sit here and spam join, right click, join, right click, join, right click, join. You would just have to fucking do that forever. I don't know when they added this queue thing, but it's fucking great. I just don't think I'm getting into this map though. So yeah, back to sometimes letting the company, the restaurant chain, order what they need from what we tell them. Run into issues sometimes. Also, we run into issues even when we order it. The places that we get these things from, the parts, will sometimes give us the wrong part. That usually amounts up to like motors and compressors, are what sometimes we usually get the wrong thing. Not all the time, it's just every now and again. It's like they gave us something they just had in stock and like, it's close enough, we need to get rid of it, it's not selling, here you go. That's what it feels like sometimes. They just give us something that's not selling, and it's just sitting there and they have to sell it, cause commission, and they just hand it off to us cause it's close enough. Obviously it's not gonna work, so we have to wait again to get another one. Fun. So anyway, just saying, we have issues. Now imagine this restaurant chain ordering stuff who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So I can tell you, it was a compressor that we're gonna change. We didn't look at it for whatever reason. None of us looked inside the box, even though we always look at the fucking box, see the part before we take it up, every fucking time. And we didn't do it this time. It was a 200-pound box. We don't have, it says lift with machinery. Yeah, we don't have machinery. It was heavy. We had to lift it up. Oh, actually, it was a lot easier considering there's like a little step up for the walk-in cooler. So we had to lift it up to that part. And then there was a ladder to lift it up the other half of the way, which if it was just a straight shot from the side with a ladder, it would have been hell. But we had this little step that was the walk-in cooler. We just got up to the cooler and then we got it up to the roof. That made it a lot easier. Maybe I'll put pictures up, I don't know. Because this was a giant... We didn't open it until we got to the top, by the way. We got it to the top. We opened it. I'm just gonna stay here. Well, maybe... Shit, maybe I should have joined, actually. Fuck. Anyway, I don't know. Whatever. No, this seems alright. We'll just see what happens. So we got it to the top. We opened it. And, the compressor we were changing is a tall, skinny compressor. This compressor... And also it was black. This compressor was fat, orange, and fucking huge. Yeah. I don't know what made us think not to look at it even once when we were downstairs. But now we had to drop this 200-pound thing back down. And that was fun. That took me out for like 2 days or so, maybe more. I don't know because that was Monday of like 3 weeks ago. The following Wednesday, we had a several-hour drive to go change compressors from the same restaurant chain that fucked up this compressor. Yeah, we made absolutely sure they sent us pictures and shit before we drove over there. Anyway, yeah, that was a several-hour drive. We left sometime before the sun was up, and we got there pretty much before lunch. And of course, we didn't identify the compressors. Other people did. Another company did. Then they called us because they prefer to use us. And my boss charges them out the fucking ass, and they just still say yes. So, I guess, sure. The drive fucking sucked, by the way, but yeah. Several hours, by the way. Again, before the sun went up, we got there around a little before lunch. So we changed the compressors. It wasn't that bad. Like, there's a lot of new shit, like, since 2014, 2015. There's been a lot of, like, advancements, I want to say, in a lot of things, but especially in HVAC stuff. It makes our work, a hell of a lot fucking more fluid. It's insane that some of these things exist. Like, holy fucking shit. Like, really, what used to take us, like, simply doing a vacuum to clean the system used to take like an hour and a half or so. It now takes like 20, 30 minutes. Sometimes even far fucking less. It is insane how much advancement there's been in our tools. It's just absurd. Also, there's weld. It's called solderless, but essentially solders welding. So there's essentially a tool that makes it so you don't have to weld. There's several of them now, but essentially you just fit the pipes to each other and that's it. This tool just fits the pipes to each other and you don't have to weld. Again, may not sound like much, but that is insane. You just grab a tool, you grab two pieces of pipe, put them together, you put this fucking, essentially this giant plier over it, and you compress it, and that's it. It's fine now. It's essentially welded. We don't use it for AC stuff, but we use it for, like, smaller stuff. It's still really nice and saves time. You don't have to get the torches out. If you fuck up in one area you can't really see or get to, and then you have to keep welding and welding and welding until you seal that part, you just grab this fucking thing and do it. That's it. You grab this thing, put the two pieces, crimp it, that's it. It's done. In the time it took you to even start your torches. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, sorry. So, yeah, we fixed that. We changed the two compressors. And guess what? We find a leak in the, it's an AC, by the way. We find a leak in the condenser, a part that is a bitch to change. Because it's this giant, sensitive aluminum thing. Any little hit on it will fuck it up. Now imagine we have to carry that up a roof somehow. So, it's... A lot of the times, if it's already an old unit, just change the fucking AC unit, essentially. There's no use in changing the coil. But yeah, that's what we drove all the way over there for. To change two compressors that weren't the fucking issue. The issue was a condenser. And the issue was the guys who looked at it, too. Because when we first... I think I have a picture of that, too. When we first got there, there was this, like, this coil protector that goes over the coil to protect it from, like, hail and anything flying around that will hit it and ruin it. It's like this screen, essentially, over it. A guard. When we got there, for some reason, the guard was, like, cut into. Like, they didn't know how to take it off, so they were just gonna cut it off. It's just two little clips. That's it. I fucking hate this guard, because they're a bitch to put on. But taking them off isn't too much of an issue. And for some reason, these guys cut into the guard, and then figured out how to take it off, I guess? Because it was only like a quarter of the way cut. So after I noticed that, I noticed on the condenser, it was like scraped across. Like they dragged, someone just yanked off the guard, and just cut the shit out of the fucking coil. So these guys just fucked everything up. We got called for compressors that were identified by the other company, when it was the fucking coil that they themselves ruined. I think. No one else is looking at it, I imagine. So that was great. I don't think we're doing that, so I don't want to fucking go back. It's a long drive. We came back same day, by the way, after that was the issue. Yeah, we don't want to stay over there. Not because of, like, anything wrong over there, just like... We were just there for one job, we want to go home. And my boss and other coworker do that. They, every now and then they'll do that drive to go do a job and then come back. But for hot food, because they don't do AC, we do AC. My other coworker and me, my boss and the other coworker do the hot food. So they'll go handle hot food stuff and they're used to the drive and all that. It's just... God, that drive fucking sucked. Oh shit. Okay, guys, we're supposed to kill the fucking shit first. Oh, they got it. Okay, I guess whatever, sure. Anyway. Did they get it? No, they didn't. Yeah, you know when I said I should have joined the queue? That map I was queued up for? I probably should have joined it. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say I probably should have joined it. We'll see. We'll see if they redeem themselves. Never mind, I didn't help, but... We'll see if they redeem themselves. We have enough people, looks like. We'll be fine. Please don't tell me we need to do this again. We might be cutting it close on one burning it. Oh, there we go. South usually does one burn, by the way. like everyone else now. It's funny that people still panic whenever South burns it first entirely. Some people still panic. It's not 2014, guys. Holy shit, there's a lot of people here. But yeah, it's not 2014. If you didn't, like, burn your thing back then, burn your, vine, I guess, it essentially meant the map would fail. It doesn't, that's not the case anymore. Like, we've just gotten so much better skills and DPS that it doesn't really matter anymore. Okay, good. Come on, get out of the way. Move from the chest. Holy shit, there's so many people. Got it. Okay, anyway. Yeah, that job was shit. Fixing someone else's work, and it was wrong. And then having to drive back later than we thought because, again, we tried to fix it. I didn't know you could weld the condensers, but my coworker was soldering on the condensers. And he fixed like 1 or 2 holes, but there was like several, and he could just not close some of them, so like it was a lost cause essentially. So that sucked. We tried our best to make sure we wouldn't have to go back or anything. I don't know if we're going back. I really don't fucking want to. I think we got home like at 9 or 10 o'clock. And that was with us rushing and, well, not driving, of course, but rushing, trying to fix the issue. The compressors went fucking smoothly. This issue that popped up about the condenser having holes in it was what fucked us over, and taking a little bit longer than we thought. That was a fun day. Which I think I also should mention. I had a taco in the morning, like at 7 in the morning, that we stopped somewhere after a couple hours of driving, and that was it. I bought a sandwich on one of our last stops on the way home, when it was still daylight, barely, the sun was already setting, and I bought a turkey and cheese sandwich, and the sandwich ended up being bad. The turkey was yellowed and dried as fuck. So, I only ended up having that taco in the morning. And again, we got back home like at 9 or 10 p.m. After a long drive, after being in the fucking sun. I think that might have been the 2-week heat wave. So 120 degree heat. That was fun. And that fucked me over for like the next week, by the way. Not the heat. Yeah, not any of that. What fucked me over for the next week was eating once. Because for the next week or so, I was only eating once a day because I was forgetting to eat. My body just got accustomed to eating like that. For one day. It was so stupid. I had to slowly introduce myself back to having 2 to 3 meals a day. I don't know how that fucked me up that bad. That was great. That was fantastic. I don't want to go over there. I don't want to go there ever again. My boss keeps teasing me about it. I really don't want to go back. That was not worth it at all. I don't want to go over there and change a condenser. I really fucking don't. Yeah, anyway, now we're just back to, like, changing compressors and shit, because we had another heat wave, and that's nice. Not as bad as the other one, but still pretty fucking bad. Texas is great. Okay, well, I need to figure out what else to do, and I'll be back in a bit, because I'm gonna go eat. Oh wow, exactly a week. Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was, like, 2 weeks later, but it's only a week later from when I recorded the previous stuff, so if I sound different, sorry. I have not had time until just now to record. Well, record the rest of this little session. I have enough Guild Wars 2 footage now, I think, and now I could stare at a wall. So, for the rest of this, I want to keep it short. I don't know if I'm gonna do the little Horizon rant, but we'll see. I don't really have my little list. I don't know where I put it. I mean, I mostly got through everything, so... Yeah, I actually found my list, never mind. I did want to talk about, like I said, you know, catch up on game announcements and the Metalocalypse movie. We're probably gonna get into something I wanted to talk about, and yeah, I might just do that now so we can just not end the video, I guess, on a, I don't know, not a sad or depressing note, just like, something similar to Monotonous, I guess. So, yeah, I don't remember what I left off with, but we just have, like, games to talk about, Oh, channel stuff, I guess. But yeah, right now, really quick, I wanted to just talk about stuff, I guess. We already talked about the live stuff, sort of talked about channel stuff, and now I just want to bring up something else since it's been on my mind. Sort of, I guess, channel related. But to do that, I do want to talk about something else, and then I'll lead into it maybe, somehow. Yeah, it was mostly just recently, you know, not having time as I've gotten older. For whatever reason, it's just that I think people say 25, 26, your free time just significantly drops. And that's been true. And I'm gonna be all over the place right now. I guess because my mind is still all over the place. But yeah, let me just lead into what made me start, or want to talk about this, I guess. So, like, back in March, there was a little, not little, but like, there was a Mario Kart 8 tournament, and I follow Hackerling. Someone I enjoy watching who plays mostly Splatoon. Only Splatoon. And she joined a Mario Kart 8 tournament. Yeah, like I said, my mind's all over the place, but I'm starting with something entirely different, and then I'll lead into what I want to talk about. So this, to me, is like a little bit of context and why I started thinking like this, I guess. So, it sort of needed context. Even though it might seem unrelated entirely. Yeah, so there was like a VTuber Mario Kart 8 tournament, and I just decided to watch Hacker. Honestly, that's like the first time I've been invested in like a tournament. Also, Jabroni Mike was there, which is essentially Vinesauce Vinny friends. That's how I like started seeing all these other streamers under that umbrella, Vinny friend umbrella. But yeah, it's just like the first time I was, I guess, invested in a tournament. But I think any of the regular people I watch, I would have like, I guess, been cheering for, because if Spoonerism did something, I'd be like invested in a tournament for Spoonerism. So, but this is just like the first tournament. I guess I just sat down and watched the whole fucking thing, which I will say I would recommend it if you have, like, I don't know how long it was, like 2-3 hours or maybe longer. Yeah, if you got that time to spare, I'd say watch Hackerling's VOD. It was like back in March. Or Jabroni Mike, whoever's POV you want to see. And if you just like Mario Kart 8, which I can always watch Mario Kart 8, I don't know why. I do have to take breaks from Hacker playing Splatoon because my brain just starts getting overloaded with the fucking sounds and noises in whatever the Horde mode is. Yeah, you can tell I'm really into Splatoon. I like the multiplayer. I've never really tried the Horde mode. And Hacker is too good and intimidates me and scares me from wanting to run into her in the Horde mode. I don't want to run into her and be judged on stream for my very poor gameplay, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But I like the multiplayer. I've always liked the multiplayer in 2 at least. I never played Splatoon 1, but yeah, that Splatoon 3 DLC I'm gonna want to play, which, by the way, haven't fucking finished the campaign to Splatoon 3. I haven't had fucking time to do shit. So, we'll see what happens with that. Again, mind all over the place, sorry. I'll just finish that up real quick. It's cause, like, a couple things I want to talk about lead into different things, and this is one that leads into different things. So I'm like, what do I prioritize talking about first? And also not take too long, because I want to actually play and record some things in a bit. I don't know if I'll... It might be too late to do so, but I'll probably still do something. But yeah, I mean, spoilers, it's like 2-3 months now or so since the tournament. Hacker won. That was cool. The winning prize was a PC. I don't think she's gotten it still. March, what? We're in August? 4 months? She hasn't gotten her PC? That's nice. They are still talking to her. It was a well-known person who hosted the tournament, I think. Giga is her name. I don't know who Giga is. Yeah, I just wanted to quickly bring that up because, I don't know, just wanted to mention I was, like, invested in a tournament for once. And also because I want to talk about 2 things, sort of related. The first thing being that I have no fucking idea how a lot of these streamers, sorry, but yes, Hackerling included, are very, I don't want to say tech illiterate, because Hacker is actually pretty good at troubleshooting shit. They just don't like, someone like Hacker, Vinny, whoever else, don't like messing with their electronics. Like, anyone who's a friend of Vinny seems to have a curse, or adopt a curse, of destroying electronics or electronics failing them. Happens to Jabroni Mike, who's a friend of Vinny. Happens to Hackerling, friend of Vinny. Happens to Vinny. He is Vinny. Vinesauce Vinny, by the way. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why that's a thing. They are cursed with controllers, as well, like a big one. But yes, controllers are still very cheap, very fucked. They're expensive, and they still use cheap joystick parts, which causes Joy-Con, or Joy-Con, I was defaulting to calling it that. They default to stick drift, which that happens because they use cheap components. And apparently, Spoon also mentions the triggers on the Xbox controller, like, just fucking up entirely. Which, I'm not bringing Spoon into this, I think he can work on this stuff, but I don't know, I don't think he's ever talked about that. I don't mean to also throw Spoon under the bus. But yeah, Hacker is just afraid to break her computer if she opens it up, which apparently she has done before anyway, so. Just in general, if you have like old computers or controllers, consoles, that don't work or you don't care about anymore, you know, if you have time, just like, open it up, look at it, mess around with it. If it's broken, see if you can fix it. I think that's just a general good thing to do. I guess learning experience. I think if you have a lot of tech, a lot of electronics, you could benefit from opening something up, seeing how it works, seeing what's connected and all that, and just being able to fix something yourself. It's nice. Not your phone, by the way. Phones are pretty fucked, so don't open up your phone. You're not going to be able to put it back together or get it fixed if they see that you opened it. So don't fuck with your phone. But yeah, I've gotten pretty comfortable opening up electronics, and I'm someone who's heavy-handed. Sometimes will just not realize the pressure I'm putting onto something, or like, I think I'll gently put something down, but then it like just fucking makes a loud thud when I put it on the table or something, so I can be, like, gentle with electronics, I guess. Someone who's heavy-handed, and, I think if I can do it, if I can open up electronics and fix it without fucking it up, or like unplug something, plug something in, and all that stuff, I think anyone can. Considering, again, heavy-handed, a little clumsy. I think if you have fully functioning hands and fingers, I think there's no excuse. Unless you are just fucking giant. Then, yeah, that's an excuse. That's a good one. Which I also want to mention, while I'm talking about, like, streamers being a little bit afraid to touch their electronics, how the fuck do some people just not have an HDMI switcher? Like, streamers. Yeah, you probably don't need one. Maybe you have one console, 2 consoles at most. Yeah, you don't need one, that's fine. Or you're fine with unplugging something and plugging in something else, like, every other week, every other month, you don't do it often. That's fine. But as people who stream, or do YouTube, it fucking baffles me that, I mean, well, for this one, I don't know if he's changed it, but not sorry to throw Spoon under the bus. Spoonerism. I swear I fucking heard him say, hold on, let me switch from my Xbox, or whatever, to my Switch, or the opposite. Like HDMI cable. That is baffling to me. Why don't you just have a switcher? An automatic changing switcher. HDMI switcher. They are fantastic. You can get a cheap one for like 20 bucks that does 4K 60, or 4K 120. Although that's gonna be expensive also if it supports HDR and all that shit. That just baffles me so fucking much. That people have been streaming for fucking ever, or doing YouTube forever, like gaming shit, and they have a multitude of consoles. They will manually get up and change the HDMI input by unplugging it and plugging in the other console. That fucking baffles me. We have technology, guys. Sure, it needs another plug, maybe that's an issue, but it needs needs to be plugged in, it needs a power source, but I think streamers could afford that. A surge protector with a very long extension, I think they can manage that if they need more plugs. Yeah, I don't know, I'm baffled because, I mean, look at my channel numbers, and I've always cared about the hardware I have, I guess, the quality and all that. I'm sure I've mentioned it hundreds of times, but since I have like so many consoles plugged in, I have like a PS2, original Xbox, GameCube, Wii U, and PS3, everything else above that plugged in except for, well, Xbox One and PS4 because there's PS5 and Xbox Series X or whatever it is. So I have almost everything plugged in. 64 and SNES, of course, as well. I took out some because I just didn't have room, or I didn't use them, like the NES, Dreamcast, Wii. I forgot the Wii U can play Wii games, so that was kind of a brain lapse moment. Look at the fucking, one of the Christmas specials I did where I played a Cabela game, I think, and I played it on the Wii, and at the end of it, I think I was like, oh shit, this is on the Wii U. Great. Yeah. I forgot the Wii U can just play Wii games. Anyway, I have a lot of consoles plugged in. Because I always just wanted to have like all the old games available to play anything on a whim if I want to. Which I haven't done, but I want to again. I had a little break from games? I had a little break from games. And now I'm just itching to play a lot of shit as my schedule's a little more clear, but it might get a little more packed in the coming week or two. So I have a little bit of time to play stuff. Oh, and even before doing this, I guess YouTube shit, I wanted like the Ultra HDMI for my N64. The thing that makes the Nintendo 64 have like a clean as fuck quality. Crisp HD quality. I've always just cared about the quality of videos and, you know, having like I don't know if a good setup, but a setup that everything will work on it and I don't have to like change anything at any given point. I have like an expensive HDMI switcher. You don't need it. It's just I wanted one that was 4K, 120 Hz, supported HDR, and had like more than 5 inputs. It has 8 inputs. I think maybe I have to unplug the Wii U or something for the PS3, but that's about it. Very rarely do I have to switch anything on it, because I don't use it right now. And it's a giant HDMI switcher. It's like, I think it's like 20 inches or 38. That's a big difference. Or like 36 inches in length. And it was like $150, because 4K 120 HDR is expensive. Yeah. Obviously you don't need that. I just got it for me because that's what I wanted. I got a 4K TV and I wanted everything in 4K. 4K is nice. And also to support, you know, PS5, Xbox X. So, that's also why I got it. But yeah, you don't need something like that. You can just get a 4K 60 one and that'll be like $20, $30. Which is why I don't fucking understand people who don't have one. You don't have to go behind your desk to change HDMI inputs every time. You don't have to have your capture card on your desk to be able to change the HDMI input. Why do streamers do this? It is confusing to me. I am baffled as fuck. The only person I sort of regularly watch who is actually, like, gives a shit about the quality and streamlining their setup as much as I do is Maximilian Dude. That's why whenever Maximilian Dude talks about tech stuff, troubleshooting stuff, or doing it live on stream, like, I will stop what I'm doing and pay attention to Max. Because that shit is just good. If you can catch Max talking about tech and understand it, it's good. It's good shit. He's the only one who is very similar to me in that aspect about the setup, about their setup. Everyone else just kind of seemingly puts shit together. Also, if I'm like, I'm not talking directly to the mic, so sorry if I was like off axis. I was just facing the other way entirely from the mic, so whoops, sorry. I don't know how long. It just seems like a lot of streamers and YouTubers don't understand how to have a streamlined setup in which it doesn't really require input from them other than like me going up to turn on my HDMI switcher. That's it. It just has an on-off switch. That's it. I don't have to do much else. I want to play my Xbox? I'll just grab the Xbox controller, turn it on, and oh look at that. My input switches to the Xbox. PS5? I want to play PC on my TV? Everything's fucking plugged into the switcher. Now, there's another mess, though. That's, you know, that's a long story, but there is a mess of HDMI splitters, but my situation's a little unique in that. I bought a splitter that was 4K 120 HDR. I bought a splitter that was for that. OREI, I think Array splitter. And I plugged it in, tried it, didn't work. And then I go back on the page where I bought it from, and it fucking says does not support capture cards. It detects capture cards somehow. This fucking splitter that I wanted to use to like put the signal on my TV and also put the signal on my monitor didn't fucking work because I swear that wasn't there when I bought it. But after I bought it, I looked at the description, so I didn't look at it before. Maybe it was there. It specifically did not support capture cards. So I was like, fuck. And that's why I have a mess of like 3 HDMI splitters, which all need power sources. That's great. That's fantastic. Maybe one day I'll go through my setup, but it's a mess at the moment. I never cleaned it up. I had it cleaned for a while. I had the wires and everything all nice. And then I decided to upgrade everything to 4K and it just turned into a mess of cables again. So, that's great. It was clean once, and never again. But yeah, I mean, my situation's unique. I don't think you'll really need 3 different HDMI splitters because it doesn't work with the capture card. I don't think you'll have that trouble if you're not a streamer or YouTuber. You should be fine with just one splitter. If you want to have a signal on your monitor and then a signal also on your TV of the same thing, so you can switch between where you want to play, which is also fucking fantastic, by the way. So, yeah, that was pretty much rambling, but the little rant was, I'm baffled at streamers' setups sometimes. That's it. Like, fine, I guess. Some streamers and YouTubers don't want to touch their electronics. They'd rather just pay someone to do it. Fine. But not having a streamlined setup for several consoles, how? How do you deal with that? All it takes is a little $20 HDMI switcher, and you don't need to fucking manually change HDMI cables every fucking time you want to play a different console. That's just entirely something I just can't comprehend. Especially from someone like Spoon. Yeah, that took a lot longer than I thought, I think. The only thing left is talking about tech, I guess, from these same Vinny friends. Well, at least when it comes to Vinny and Hacker. The last thing I want to mention is also for anyone else as well. It isn't that confusing to get a controller to work on PC. Hacker, I understand, she might not have other controllers. She just used a Switch controller to play a game recently and that was fine. I think. I don't know. I don't remember. But Vinny always has issues with controllers because he tries to use an 8-bit Do controller. I don't know why. 8-bit Do, whatever. I don't know why he specifically always has issues with controllers. Like I said, some kind of curse. Electronics just fail Vinny for some reason. But this goes for them and anyone else. The Xbox Series controllers are perfectly fine. You can find them on sale for like $40 with a USB, a little Bluetooth adapter. If you don't have Bluetooth on your PC, that's it. Use that. The controller's perfectly fine. If it fucks up, yeah, that sucks. And maybe you can go back to your other controller that is an absolute bitch trying to get to work. But hey, the Xbox Series controller's perfectly fine. And you know, native to most games. I think that was Hacker's issue, is that because she was using a Switch controller, and with Vinny too sometimes, all the inputs were showing Xbox inputs. And she was kind of having trouble with that, I think. Not that she would have one on hand, but an Xbox controller would make things smoother. They're relatively native to PC, so it's really fucking easy to use an Xbox controller on PC. And again, like $40, it's not bad. Yeah, don't pay $80, $70. Wait for a sale. That's kind of all I have to say about their controller woes. Just get an Xbox Series controller. It'll make your life easier if you use a controller on PC. Also, I used to dislike the original Xbox One controller, but for whatever reason, I like the Xbox Series one, and I don't know what they did differently, but maybe nothing, I don't know. They just added grips, like a grippy texture to the back, and I like it a lot more now. I don't know. I just think it's far better than the initial Xbox One controller, which is what Vinny complained about. Sure, but have you tried a new Series controller? I think they're better. I didn't like the Xbox One controllers, but the Xbox Series controllers, I like. They're actually better to me. Even if they're the same fucking thing, I think they're better. Even if the only difference is the fucking grippy texture, it's somehow better to me. So yeah, you have controller woes, try an Xbox Series controller. If you have controller woes with an Xbox Series controller, I have no idea how to fix that. Sorry. Because I'm pretty lucky with controllers. Everyone seems to have stick drift. Every streamer, every YouTuber has complained about stick drift. And like, oh, I go through the 5 controllers a week. How? Fucking how? I'm here, like, playing and then I accidentally drop my controller and it's like, oh, fuck. Then I pick it up. It's fine. I try to take absolute care of my controllers. And even if I drop them on accident or like I'm stretching or something and I just move my arm down and it falls out of my hand, like slam into the ground, my controllers are still fine. What do streamers do? What do YouTubers do? I don't understand it. How you have to go through like Wooly and Pat from, well, Wooly Versus and Pat Stares At. Like every other time on a podcast, they'll just talk about controllers and Pat's like, oh yeah, you see this magenta PS5 controller? Yeah, I've gone through like 3 of them. This is like my second or third one. Pat, how? What the fuck? I don't understand it. I don't know. I don't know, man. I understand it's an issue. It just seems to happen to everyone but to me. Well, okay, that's a lie. I had one issue with stick drift. And that was on my favorite PS4 controller, the Sunset Orange one. That's the only one I've ever had an issue with. My favorite controller got a stick drift, obviously before the PS5 and all that came out, and I was sad about that one. And I tried to fix it, but I needed a better soldering iron, or soldering kit. I had a kind of a shitty one that you just plug in. Like, the cable comes out of the soldering iron, instead of being in like a soldering station. And it seemed to be pretty low quality, and I couldn't even take off the solder to remove the whatever the joystick component is. So I always meant to fix it by getting a soldering station that was good quality, but I never did. One day I'll get that better soldering station. One fucking day when I stop buying 20 other things. I don't know, I guess I've had that held in for a while. These two little rants about streamers and YouTubers with their tech. Yeah. I get the Joy-Con drift. God damn it. I get the joystick drift. I get it. It rarely happens to me, and I can't understand how people need to buy like 3 or 4 every other month, or a couple times a year. My brain just sort of breaks on that, because I've only ever had it once out of how many controllers, because I keep buying controllers. Only had it once. Now, I haven't even had Joy-Con drift. So, I think I'm just a little lucky with electronics? Maybe? Maybe. Okay, those were the two little tangents. Ugh, my brain. Again, that was much longer than I thought. Christ. I thought I would kind of get through this quickly so I can go shower and then come back and record something. Not looking good on time. So, anyway, aside to, I guess, give a little shit to Hacker, aside from bringing specifically her up, which, by the way, good luck with your PC. I'm sure she'll get it one day. Yeah, here's another thing, which I do kind of have to out. One of the restaurant chains we have, like that we work on for HVAC work, I do have to out myself here because I'm gonna mention some stuff. Again, this is old as fuck. This was like before the Mario Kart 8 tournament that Hacker was in, I think. She tried... I have to bring this up because it bothers me so much. She tried the KFC Double Down for fun. Why? And like I said, I have to out a restaurant chain that I work for. Well, HVAC work. I wouldn't take the KFC Double Down for free. And I get free food like almost every fucking time I leave a KFC. I'll be walking out and they'll just hand me a fucking thing of chicken. It's like, thanks? Okay, thanks. I appreciate it, but it's also KFC. The Double Down just sounds terrible. If you missed what it is, I'm going off of memory, I'm too lazy to look it up. The reason why I'm like, why would you try this for fun? What is wrong with you? The reason I'm like that is because it's just like 2 pieces of chicken tenders as the bread, and then the middle is like bacon and cheese, I think. And that's the KFC Double Down. Yeah, trying that for fun. No. KFC is very salty. Like, I don't mind it sometimes. But I can tell you in how many years I have never gone to it. Never mind I get it for free. And very rarely, like, yeah, I'll have it and it's good. But even then, before we had the KFC restaurants for work, I never went to KFC. So before I got free KFC, I never even went to go, like, eat KFC. I've just always thought it was very salty. Which it is. But it can be good sometimes. That is my only little bone to pick with Hacker. Why? I get KFC for free like almost every week. I wouldn't fucking take that. I wouldn't eat that. And she also said it was very salty, and I don't know if it was something that killed her taste buds or whatever. Like, well, yeah, KFC's salty. Very salty. Which, look, if you're gonna take something from KFC, surprisingly, the nuggets are actually pretty good. But they are also very salty. It's just a constant issue for KFC. But the nuggets are pretty fucking good, and I was eating those for a while, and now I'm just like, I'm good on KFC. After like months of having KFC nuggets, I'm good. Yeah, I mean the KFC nuggets are like Chick-fil-A nuggets, kind of like soft breading, and the chicken's just cut up chicken breasts, I think. But it's good. They also have Buffalo Ranch, which is fucking great as well. Like the one thing I really like from KFC was something introduced like, I don't know, last year, the nuggets. Those, I'm not gonna judge you, it's just, be aware they're still very salty. It's the same breading as their chicken, like they use the same breading for everything, the same seasoning for everything. It can sometimes be very salty. So if you willingly try the double down, what is wrong with you? You're not gonna tell me, oh, you're just living a little. Yeah, don't tell me to live a little. You're taking time away from your own life with how much salt is in that fucking thing. Never mind, I'm over here eating nuggets. I don't know, man. I just wanted to, like, scream when she said that. I get food for free. I wouldn't eat the double down. Fuck. And that's how you learn. I get KFC, like, weekly. Because I'm leaving and they'll just hand me a box of food. It's like, great. Just what I wanted. My weekly KFC. My daily KFC. Thanks. Ugh. I appreciate it. It's just, I don't want to eat KFC every day. I barely even want to eat it once a year. Alright. So here we get into the little thing that I've been thinking about for a while now. So not that I feel bad about myself or anything. I'll just tell you right now that, again, how old is the channel? I think I started in like 2014, 2015, so we're closing in on 10 years of just me doing this bullshit. And I'll just tell you right now, I'm a similar age, or exactly the same age, as Moist Critical, Joey from Trash Taste. I'm sure there's one other example. I forgot who. So, no, this is not gonna go in a way of like, I thought I'd be more popular or whatever. No, that's not where this is going. I don't care, to be honest. That's not what I'm getting at. It's just, what I'm getting at is, those are two people who have done, like, so much with their career, I guess. I don't know how else to word it. You know, Joey having Trash Taste, doing a lot, like, his own stuff. A lot of collaborations and shit. And Critical, same thing, like, not Trash Taste, but doing a lot of his own shit. The esports, the wrestling, the comic, music, a lot of shit. And yeah, I mean, I'm the same age as them. So it just kind of makes me think about projects I've wanted to do for years and just never acted on. And now it's kind of in a state of like, it's a little too late to really do these projects anymore. And that's what I'm a little down about. Like, I really should have worked on these projects all those fucking years ago, and I just didn't. And the reason I started thinking about this was because I looked over at, like, Hacker, who has done a lot, does a lot as well, and I'm pretty sure she's relatively young. Well, I say that like I'm old as fuck. I'm not. It kind of feels like, again, once you're over 25, it just feels like you're fucking old. Again, she's probably like a couple years younger than me, and I also look at, like, the Genshin content creators. I don't know why I said it like that. But the Genshin Impact content creators who are also relatively young. Like, literally 20 or 21. Someone like OK Code. And, I don't know. I just kind of look over and like, fuck, like, that's when I should have started doing similar shit. Like, working on these projects at that age. So, I don't know. That's just what's been on my mind for, like, the last couple weeks. Maybe months, I guess. They're, like, essentially getting shit done. And then I look over at Critical and Joey, who have, like, done a lot and are doing even more. With the time, like, they made use of that time they started, essentially. Like, there was no, seemingly any downtime. They never let anything slip by, any opportunity. And to me, the same is going on for Hacker and OK Code. So that just, you know, makes me reflect and make me look back and, like, obviously I didn't spend my time wisely, I suppose, is what this all makes me think. So, a little down, and that's why I didn't really want to end on this, you know, a little, like, sour note. Just wanted to keep it short, but, yeah. Just projects that I wanted to work on, that I wanted to do everything myself, so, yeah, I need to do that. It's something I could have asked for friends for help back then, you know, when I was, like, Code or Hacker in my early 20s. Whereas now, everyone that I know has, like, a family now. So, a lot harder to just, like, go around and ask for friends and pay them a couple bucks to help me out with this thing. A lot more difficult to do that. So that's why it's like, the time has sort of passed on that. And I never wanted to get outside help, like, outside of, my friends or local people, which I guess I can always find local people to help. But at this point, it's probably just easier to find people online to help. You know, obviously pay them. But, yeah. I don't know. I'm just saying projects, by the way, because I don't want to say anything yet. If there's absolutely no fucking way this will ever happen, any of the projects I want to do. I'll tell you what they are eventually. One day, I guess. There'll be one day. So yeah, sour note. Didn't want to end on that. I guess we'll just get back to the, other stuff. I'm still just taking this year to work on myself, by the way, and it's only been a week, huh? Shit. Again, it felt like 2 weeks since, like, the last recording. But I've already felt a lot more slimmer. But I think I've also been calorie counting for 2 weeks, and I also worked out, like, 5 times this week. So that's pretty fucking good. I'm a little dead tired, but, you know, feeling a lot better about myself. Just gotta keep it up. I also need to get back into playing bass. I haven't played in like maybe a month, which isn't bad. It used to be worse, like, oh, it's been 2 or 3 months. And I meant to play a couple days ago, but I was like groggy, opening up a package, and I may or may not have like barely put any pressure on the tape, opening up the package, with my hand behind it, and then the knife just kind of like, you know, cut the tape, and then gently kind of just bumped my finger. And then I was bleeding for like 30 seconds to a minute. Putting pressure, and it just kind of kept bleeding for a while. It stopped. I mean, I knew it wasn't a deep cut. It just, you know, deeper than a normal, like, scrape, I guess. But it wasn't a horribly deep cut. My knife is apparently very sharp because it just barely bumped my finger, and it left a little bit of a deep slice. I mean, I'm thankful that's all it was. It could have, like, slashed across my whole fucking finger. It just hit the side of my middle finger, and that's it. And it's finally healed, like after, I don't know, 3 days. I can play bass now, yay. But I don't want to play bass right now, yay. I just want to play something. I'll try and play bass soon. Yeah, was that less of a sour note? You know, feeling better about myself, wanting to play more bass, wanting to, well, I did mention it, but, you know, play more games. That's better than the previous note, right? And now we can hopefully get to the final thing, which, you know, hopefully I also still have Guild Wars 2 footage, which, by the way, I got really back into, and maybe I'll just mention it when I do the, expansion that comes out very fucking soon. Maybe I'll talk more about Guild Wars 2 there, but just know I'm very much addicted right now, and I'm finally taking a little break after like a month straight of playing Guild Wars 2. Yeah. God, that game just sucks me in every now and again. I take like a year-long break, and then suddenly I'm playing it for however long I can every day. Oh, by the way, speaking of, before we move on, speaking of, you know, bettering myself and all that, I got a fucking nice chair. I forgot the name of it. Not a Herman Miller. It was still an expensive chair, though. Yeah, I had a gamer chair that Gabriel bought me years and years ago, which I don't think was expensive. It was not to, you know, shit on Gabriel. I think it just was a cheaper brand of the gamer chair, which the gamer chairs are all the fucking same. All the brands are all the fucking same, by the way. They're just different companies on it, and that's it. So if you see like a $200 gamer chair and a $500 gamer chair, there's no fucking difference. They're the same fucking thing. Also, don't buy a gamer chair. Yeah, anyway, I had one because I had a very old computer chair that Gabriel wanted me to change. I never did. And then he had to buy me a new chair to essentially finally get me to switch off of it. Because he knows I probably would have never changed it otherwise. The gamer chair, the only thing I like about it is the neck thing. The cushion was gone after like a couple weeks, a month maybe. Yeah, the cushion was just gone. Every time I sat on it, played bass, I could just feel the part where the chair connects to the little cylinder for the legs. Yeah, I just felt that. Finally in like March or so of this year, of already being a little tired of the chair, my back was aching more and more. Like my lower back. And obviously it was a chair. Like I had to take a break from the chair every other hour or every hour. I just couldn't handle it anymore, so I was like, I'm just gonna fucking buy a chair. A month or two before my birthday. My family never knows what to get me for, like, gifts, because I buy everything I want. I told them I want a chair, and I was gonna wait, but my back could not fucking take it anymore. So I was just gonna go buy a chair, and my family was nice enough to just buy me the chair already. I just went to Office Depot and picked one, and my dad bought it, so that was very nice. A $500 chair that is very comfy. The only downside is it doesn't lean back. And I would like to do that sometimes. Very rarely, but not much of an issue. It's been very nice. Also my back doesn't fucking ache anymore. And it has like a 5 or 10 year warranty, which I probably need to go register. The chair that I own it or whatever. So that's nice. It's been fucking great. It was also apparently on sale, so I got it for like $450, which is another, well, my family paid $450 for it. Yeah, get yourself a nice chair. It doesn't have to be a $500 chair, but anything is fucking better than a gaming chair. Just don't get a gaming chair. They're just expensive and shit. Like everyone says, just go look at like offices selling their shit. You can get a pretty good chair for cheap there. Like any office selling everything because they're moving or they went out of business or whatever. Keep an eye out for that. Or if you don't want to buy a used chair, just go to, I don't know, some kind of office store and sit in some chairs and see what you like. That's what I did. I was gonna buy a used chair, and that's why my dad stopped me. He's like, no, you're not buying a used chair. We're going wherever right now to go look at chairs. I was fine with buying a used chair, cheap one. My dad wasn't. I mean, I got a very nice chair. I like it a lot. So yeah, bettering yourself, start with a chair. Okay, we're almost done. I mean, the Horizon rant, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna do that. Horizon isn't important in the least. But I want to go through games and shit that was announced, which is why it's like, the Horizon rant doesn't fucking matter at all, really. Which, also, very quick, Metalocalypse. Holy fuck. How long has it been since the last movie, the final movie? How long has it been of Brendan Small fighting to get the fucking rights for Metalocalypse? And Cartoon Network just telling him no? Even though they weren't doing anything with it? Fuck. I liked Metalocalypse when I was younger, and I still like it now, but I haven't watched it in forever. Also, I feel like I'm slurring my words. My throat is kind of going. It's getting dry as fuck even though I'm drinking water. So I'm very sorry. My voice just doesn't last longer than an hour now. I don't know why. Maybe I do want to look into like hot tea and or whatever and, you know, to soothe my throat. So yeah, I should really do that. I don't think cold water is helping my throat feel better when I speak for this long. Yeah, so it's just kind of insane. We still had like Venture Brothers and this Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie coming or something, I think, being worked on, something like that. All these like old, essentially to me, classic Adult Swim shows are just like getting to finish, which is weird. Or continuing in Venture Brothers' case. It just finished, but it had like seasons going on for a while, I think. Compared to Aqua Teen Hunger Force and Metalocalypse, which were just done, or cancelled, or whatever. So it's just all this time, Brendan Small trying to get the rights for Metalocalypse for however many fucking years, being told no by Cartoon Network, and then we have a movie now. A final, I guess final movie, right? It's a movie, right? I don't even fucking know, I just saw the trailer and that was it. It's just, it's fucking insane. I'm pretty excited for the movie. Or whatever it is, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Which, yeah, I'm a little more excited now than I would be, like, I don't know, a couple years ago or whatever. Because I recently fell in love with the music from the final movie from 2015 or whatever. The Doom Clock Opera, I think it's called. What is the movie called? Doomstar Requiem, not the Doom Clock Opera. Yeah, mine's a dumb name. The Doomstar Requiem is a much better name. Yeah, I did always like the movie and the music from it, but I just kind of refound my interest or my love for the music in it. And I've been listening to it for months now. And then suddenly, I didn't know about it. The movie got announced like sometime after a couple months. I've been obsessed with the music again. So that's why it's insane to me. Never thought we'd see the day that Brendan Small got to make one more Metalocalypse related thing. It's a huge, like, ordeal. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to understand it, just knows, like, it was a huge mess. They just never wanted to let him have the rights for a show he just wanted to finish. I think you can understand that now with how many shows that happens to. How many people who, like, are happy making a show, how many teams are happy, and then they just suddenly get cancelled by, like, Disney, Cartoon Network, or Netflix. I'm sure you can easily understand that now. It happens a lot. So that's why, fucking hell, we're staring at another Metalocalypse related thing after so long. If you don't really know if you like Metalocalypse, well, fair warning, it's pretty gory, like Mortal Kombat 10 gory at times. Well, first off, it's like MS Paint, by the way. I don't know why, but to me, a lot of shows on Cartoon Network look like they were done in MS Paint. What is it? Metalocalypse, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, not Venture Brothers, but what's the other one? Super Jail. Like, a lot of shows just look like they're done in MS Paint for some reason. Metalocalypse has like great backgrounds, very nicely done backgrounds, and then the characters are like flat colors, MS Paint, yeah. But yeah, it still can be a little gory to the point you might get sick. So don't recommend it if you don't like gore. The movie is very less on gore. There's like barely any gore in it from what I remember. So you could give that a shot if you want. Also with the name Metalocalypse, you should know it's like death metal music. So if you don't like that, you might not, you know, like the show at all. But the movie I can recommend, however. Still, if you can get past the gore, but not the music, I can still recommend the movie. The movie is a musical with a lot of different genres, not just death metal, and a lot of the songs are pretty fucking good, and even some I wish lasted fucking longer than a minute. God damn it, man. There's a couple I would want to last, well, one specifically I would want to last another minute or two, but it's like a minute and that's it. It's like, fuck, I want more of this exact fucking song. Ever since watching the movie, I always listened to The Duel, because that was kind of one of my favorite ones. One of my favorite songs from the movie. The Duel is just a guitar battle. I like it a lot, the visuals as well. And I would like listen to it a couple times a year. And I don't know, for whatever reason recently, I just listened to more of the album from the movie. And I just kind of re-obsessed over the movie. The music in it. So that's why I'm pretty excited about getting another Metalocalypse related thing. Another movie or whatever. Yeah, it's something I can't shut up about at the moment. So if you want to give it a shot, go for it. But if you want to give only the songs a shot, here's what I recommend. I really like Some Time Ago. There's a Duel, which is right after that, the guitar battle. I like The Depths of Humanity. I don't think that's going to be for everyone, but I do like that one. Again, different genre songs. The fucking music is good. These are some of my favorites. You can try Giving Back to You as your first one you listen to. I'll tell you right now, it's a fucking Thriller parody. Listen to Giving Back to You. And here's my absolute favorite one. Is that the name of it? It's like in Latin, I think. I don't know if I can say this. You know, I'm recording, so here you go. That's the name of the thing. Also sorry for the blinding white background. It's the wiki, what do you expect? Wait. I don't see a dark mode, never mind. I don't see a dark mode, anyway. Here is my absolute favorite song. 2:47, but like 40 seconds is not of the part that I like, so it's like under 2 minutes of what I like. Yeah, again, this is my favorite fucking song from the movie, and I wish I had more of it. If you forgot, real quick, Some Time Ago, listen to it. Duel, if you want to, as well. I like Depths of Humanity. Giving Back to You is a Thriller parody. And this one is my favorite. I have always liked... There's 5 characters in the band, the main 5 characters. Pickles is a drummer. Yes, they have weird names. Pickles is a drummer, and I have always fucking loved his singing. There's a song called Hatred Copter, in which Pickles gets to sing a couple times in it, and I just immediately fell in love with that, and I wanted more of Pickles singing, and that is exactly what this song is, and some of the other ones too. Pickles gets to sing a lot in the movie, I think. So does Squizgar, which is... this is all one guy, by the way. I'm pretty sure Pickles, Nathan, and Squizgar are all voiced by Brendan Small. Brendan Small voices a lot of fucking characters in Metalocalypse, and also sings as these characters. It's fucking insane. Like, go listen to a song with Squizgar, then Pickles, and then Nathan, and they're 3 entirely different voices. It's absurd that this man can sing like this. There's a 4th character too, which is in this song, number 17, which is also done by Brendan Small, and is entirely a different voice as well. Fucking absurd. But yeah, the reason this is my favorite is because it does have Pickles singing, and also, I forgot the guy's name, it's an old guy named Facetious or some shit. Cophagus. We'll just call him Cophagus. I don't know his name. But it has an old guy who sings in it, and fuck me, I want more of Pickles and the old man singing, and it's only 2 fucking minutes! My absolute favorite song, and it's relatively short. If you're gonna listen to one fucking song, this is my absolute favorite. I would recommend it. Yeah, listen to the song. I like it a lot. I want more of it. And overall, if you're okay with some gore, watch the movie. Again, I think it's something I can recommend because it has so many different genres of songs. I'm pretty sure you could follow the story. Metalocalypse is kind of one of those shows like South Park where, look, let me talk for a second, alright? Let me get past this before you decide on my judgment. It's like South Park where it started off as like one-off episodes, maybe something will continue throughout the episodes, but every other episode, but not a lot, really. They could be like standalone episodes, and what happens in one episode doesn't necessarily matter in another episode. Sometimes there'll be a little thing, but not really. And then eventually, in the later seasons, there's only 4 seasons, in the later seasons, it starts getting like an overarching story, and then the movie is essentially the finale of that story. Which, I can recommend it. I think you'll get the story if you get into it. I mean, if you get into it, you can go watch the other seasons. But I think if you just want to, you know, something to watch for 70 minutes, yeah, you could understand this. And also enjoy the music along the way. This is just something I ended up really, you know, falling in love with again. I like it a lot. This one fucking song, man. Fuck. Death Album 4. Oh. It will release soon with the movie. Okay. I guess, right? Yeah, single. Okay, anyway. Yeah, upcoming. I should have read this. Okay, anyway. It's not 21 songs, but Mermaider 3. Alright. Anyway. Yeah, I forgot real quick. I just wanted to mention that if you wanted like another random, really random genre song, I guess, it's... Well, there's 2 more. There's, what is it? How Can I Be a Hero? If you're just gonna randomly give songs a shot from the movie, I recommend How Can I Be a Hero. I don't know what genre he would be, but it's like an Eric Clapton song, I would say. With my very limited knowledge of music. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I also like The Fans Are Chatting. I like that one. Do It All For My Brother. The ending of it, I kind of like. Pretty much every song is, I like it. And I also just remembered, yeah, Abigail's Lullaby. Whoever sings that actually has a good voice. I forgot who voices Abigail, right? I don't know. I don't think this helped me at all. Thank you, Wiki. Anyway, yeah, there's certainly some interesting lyrics in Abigail's Lullaby. Yeah, these right here. Seems like the perfect song for Hacker, and she would like it. She certainly has interesting conversations. I mean, look at her channel points. Her channel points are teeth on Twitch, so yeah, perfect song for her. It's actually good. Just very interesting lyrics. So yeah, give those a shot. I also do like The Blazing Star. I actually do like it quite a bit. It's another one I've kind of just been listening to a bit regularly. I guess before I move on, the reason why this is like a whole little mess, and again, so really surprising that Brendan Small is able to make something about Metalocalypse again. It is Brendan Small, right? I mean, you can't do the show without him because of the voices. Let me just double check. Revival film. HBO Max. Not even Cartoon... Okay, not even Cartoon Network. Yep, okay, written and directed by Small. Good. Army of the Doomstar. Forgot the name of it. It also is a movie. Alright, good. Good shit. Oh, yeah, almost lost my train of thought. The reason why it was, like, so messy or whatever, Brendan Small essentially went to go make another band called Galacticon that was sort of still telling the story of Metalocalypse, since he couldn't do another show or another movie, he couldn't get the rights. He still so badly wanted to work on it that he just made another band that vaguely talked about the story. Or directly, I don't remember. So that's why it's like, holy shit, he's getting to work on it again. He could never get the rights, so he just decided to try and continue the story through the music of another band. In which Galacticon, you can hear him singing a lot as Squizgar, which is, I think, is a good voice, a nice voice. But nothing beats Pickle's singing for me. Pickle's singing voice is good shit. God, listen to track 17. Okay, we're done with that. Yeah, new movie. I'm excited. Because, again, I recently fell in love with, re-fell in love with this. The music of Metalocalypse. And the movie's music. Oh, which, by the way, that trailer for the new movie, it seems to be that they're kind of showing off they got better, because a lot of the movement, a lot of the animations and stuff in all the original Metalocalypse stuff, the characters are very stiff. They kind of just move their arms, like move their head a little bit, but they're always like sort of facing the camera and not really at any different angles, usually. And then in the recent movie trailer, it feels like the animation team's kind of showing off they got better, because there's a bunch of different angles the characters are looking. They're like looking, you know, up, looking at the side or whatever, and different angles. It just feels like they're showing off that they got better. So that's also pretty cool. Because again, they didn't do all this shit in the original show, the movie. Characters were always one angle and never any other angle. And in the movie trailer, they're just kind of showing different angles. Okay, so I'm finally done editing this, as my hair is stuck in my phone. I have longish hair. Anyway, I didn't really sign off or make an outro or whatever for this part, because I continued talking about the games, and that is like an hour long. I'm good. I'm finally done editing this video after doing so on and off for several weeks. I'm good. I'm just gonna call it here. I think that's enough catch-up. I don't think we need to do any more. Maybe I'll still do the trips, because I do have the Las Vegas one recorded somewhere, and I haven't even started talking about the Georgia one at all, so I have no idea if those will ever come out, because I'm good on editing these little podcast things, and I just want to record more and edit games instead. I just really wanted to finish this before the Guild Wars 2 expansion came out, or comes out, so that's enough talking. However, since I was talking about music, and I want to continue a little bit more about that, some other music, so I will try to get that done in like 5 minutes. I'm gonna blast through this. I was recently trying to find new music, cause I was, you know, getting tired of listening to the same 5 or so bands or whatever for 10 plus years now, like Iron Maiden, System of a Down, Master of Puppets, I guess, which I don't even listen to that much except for when I play Rocksmith, Red Hot Chili Peppers. So yeah, I've needed new music for a very long time now. Death Clock as well. I struggled to find new metal music, which is what I thought I wanted, but as an example, Thank You for the Venom by Outline in Color is about all I could find for metal. I don't mind the song, I kinda like it, but all metal songs just, at least the ones I come across, all of them sound like this exact song. To the point where I can't tell the difference between male and female vocals across several metal songs. And that's why I just gave up on trying to find new metal years ago, and I tried it again, couldn't find new metal that I liked. I can't seem to find anything similar to what I like, I guess. Which again is like Master of Puppets, Metallica, early System of a Down, the first 2 albums, which I do like practically all System of a Down songs. It's just specifically, I can't find anything similar to the angry early System, which is the self-titled album, or Toxicity, Steal This Album. Well, Steal This Album has a bunch of slow songs, but I like them. I think the instruments and Serge's voice really hold up well, along with Darren's voice, the guitarist. But that's because I think they're rather unique in that aspect, where they make everything sound fucking great, and mix really well together, which isn't what I get from these metal songs. It's very somber, and sometimes screamy, but it's very by the book, and it seems to be the same formula across whatever metal bands I kept finding. And that's why I just kinda gave up. I guess I couldn't find new metal, which I didn't know that's what I liked. The only new metal bands I get recommended are System of a Down, Korn, Slipknot, and that's it. Disturbed. That's it. Whenever I try to find new music like that, I just get those bands over and over. It's like, I already know these bands, I'm trying to find more like this. Or again, anything similar to Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Megadeth, I think. Yeah, just like fast-paced, angry metal is what I like. And I can't find that. With unique voices. That's the other point I was getting at, is the metal songs I kept finding, it may as well be the same singers for every different band. I couldn't tell the difference, really. I just couldn't find different shit, but I looked again, a 9-year-old Reddit thread, and someone saying exactly the same thing I wanted to find, like Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, whatever else. So I'll give that a shot. There's a bunch of recommendations in there. I'll give those bands a shot. Aside from that, the other thing I wanted to mention real quick was it's just been so much easier to find Japanese, like, anything really. Pop, rock, maybe metal, and punk. That is just so much easier to find, at least what I like. Which again is fast. It doesn't have to be angry, but it helps. And I've kind of been listening to a song called Spanky Alien over and over. I don't know the band name, it's in Japanese. But if you search Spanky Alien either on Spotify or YouTube, you should be able to find it very easily. I like it a lot. I don't know what it is, but Japanese bands, their basses always seem to go fucking crazy. The bass is always recognizable, poppy, precise. You can hear it very clearly in a lot of songs, doesn't matter the genre. And that's part of why I like Japanese music quite a bit more. It's easy to find fast-paced music. The bass, guitar, drums, singer, like all keep up with each other if it's fast-paced. I found Spanky Alien, the song, again, I think it's a song. I found it in a Japanese punk playlist. I guess maybe I just like punk more and not metal really. So maybe I should try like English or American, whatever punk. Maybe I'll find more stuff I like in that genre compared to metal. At least metal now. I like metal, 90s metal, 2000s metal, but not much after that. No one's angry anymore, I guess. Except for Japanese punk bands. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a couple recommendations of if you happen to like something like Spanky Alien or similar stuff. Yes, by the way, I do feel really ridiculous continuously saying that over and over, but I can't stop fucking listening to it. Not that I'm gonna help much, I just also feel like whatever the band's name is for Spanky Alien could use a lot more recognition just for this song alone, which, again, I'm not gonna help much, but, if you want to give them a shot, give them a shot. You can see the music I'm more fond of, I guess. Also, things that just sound fun to play because I like learning songs. So I'm gonna want to learn to play these eventually. And I can tell you a lot of those metal songs that I found, they don't sound interesting to play in the least. I can't even hear the bass most of the time. So that's why I suppose I mesh well more with Japanese music. It seems like every fucking band is talented when it comes to Japanese bands. The bassist is insane, drummers are insane, guitarists, singers, it's absurd. They're all standout, the instruments, but they mix well together. The guitar can be doing something fucking funky or groovy, the bass can be funky or groovy or poppy, and the drummer's just fucking playing fast as fuck, and the singer's just shouting lyrics. That's what I seemingly like, which is punk, I guess. So yeah, aside from Spanky Alien, again, it's like groovy, funky, or punk rock things, I guess. It's a mix of stuff. So aside from Spanky Alien, there's Telecaster Stripe, I think is the name, by Polka Dot Stingray. Let It Die by Pan. Just Pan. I mean, you might know this one, it's from an anime opening, and that's how I found out about it. Flyers by Brodio, which is the Death Parade opening, which that's a good opening. You should go look at that if you haven't seen it. I don't know the name of the song, but Suspended Fourth, and the album cover is Giant Stamp. I don't know what the song is. Another one is Silver by Rise, but I know that one from a Gintama ending. It's fast, angry, has shouting. Yeah, just recently finding out, after all these years, that I like punk more than metal. I mean, you probably know this one too, but Raise Your Flag by Man with a Mission. Another anime opening, Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans. Yeah, you know what, maybe I do like punk more. I forgot, I like Dig by Mudvayne. I like Happy by Mudvayne. Yeah, Mudvayne's angry, so, fuck. That's about all I wanted to add. I mean, I like my fair share of, like, slow songs as well. Spiders by System of a Down is probably one of my favorite songs ever. I really like Spiders by System of a Down. Japanese songs that are slow as well, I like. So I like a wide variety of stuff, I'd say. But it seems to lean more towards I like whatever Japanese genres I come across, rather than, like, English stuff. I just don't like, I guess, American-made music much at all, really. Unless it's from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, I'll probably like it. But after, like, late 2000s, probably not. Like I said, the metal I keep coming across is just not something I'm into at all. I hope this random 9-year-old Reddit thread will help me find some metal I like that's somewhat recent, hopefully. But I'll probably just stick to finding some more Japanese punk music, because that's pretty fucking good, that is my speed. I like fast songs. I also like playing fast songs. That's all I want to add. I have to throw this in now and edit it. I gotta go back to the editing den now. One fucking day left, essentially, before Guild Wars 2 expansion, and I have not caught up with the Living Story stuff, which is the extra little DLC stories, I guess. Yeah, go listen to Spanky Alien. I love that woman's shouting, and I can't get enough of it. I also found like 2 other songs that I recognized her shouting in, that I didn't know were them. Whatever the band is. The name is in Japanese. I don't know. I think it was Battle Turtle that I heard and recognized her as well. and I don't need a love song or something like that. I just recognize her fucking shouting. Okay, well, now I'm gonna go, so I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching this whole thing, I guess. Yeah, it was a lot of talking. I don't want to talk a lot like this again for a while, because I have to edit it. I'm the one who has to edit this shit. I've been doing 40 minutes, I feel like, off and on for a couple days. It's just sifting through a lot of shit, and also finding footage to use. It's a mess. I don't want to do a catch-up like this ever again. At least not anytime soon. I'm gonna go. Bye. Have a good one, guys.